Hey everyone, Disappointed Giant here. Welcome to just in general, just welcome. What's up? Welcome. Welcome to another viewer build video. So this is the oft referred to mythic true archer build that I've mentioned a bunch of times throughout my videos. But we got ourselves a full run of it. You know, we'll get into it. We'll get into it as the build progresses here. The gist of it is you're gonna take the gist of it is infantry bow and marksman bow are the two main items. You know, one crits from afar, one crits from close range, and then you pair that with point blank and tranquility. So no matter where you're shooting from, you are most likely gonna get a crit, and you will most likely get bonus damage, crit or not. So it's a pretty sweet build. You know, I think it takes me like a level or two to actually start to settle in. So we'll get there when we get there. But again, like I just said, welcome in. It's like nice to see you. It's like I can't see you, but if I could, I'd give you a big smile and a wave, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's up? welcome in." Right? Oh man! And before we get into the build in the video a little bit more proper, I have a little bit of a backlog here. So maybe like a month or two ago, when we first started doing more of the viewer build type videos, I think it was a couple months at this point. I have 5 more, so 3 of them are done as far as the footage. I just need to record the audio, so I just wanted to give you folks an update if you requested a build. So Flingus Plunkus, the boys axe and boomerang build. So I recorded that maybe like a month ago. Daniel-san had requested a very similar build, so I basically smushed them together, and Daniel and I are going to do the commentary on that together at some point. He's been having some PC issues, so we're going to get together at some point and take care of that, so that'll be coming up. RPGesus 402 asked for a Castlevania video where basically just use all Castlevania items, so we got that done. And then Dan Noodle Boy wanted legendary ice crossbow, so I got that one done as well. So those 3 videos. Oh, we just got a challenge roof too. I should probably look at the actual run a little bit. So those 3 videos are done as far as footage goes. I just got to record the audio for them. And then I got 2 more in the barrel here. So Nightmare requested a melee tactics build. I'm an old school melee tactics guy from 1.8. I used to play melee tactics a lot, so this will be fun. So I got that one queued up. And then Metahodos, if I'm pronouncing that right, had a build on survival skill spam. So basically you pick what do you call it? You pick some survival skills. You get a fast survival melee item like a war spear or something. Use melee, the mutation, and heart of ice, and basically use the skill, smash some attacks, and then use that cooldown and use the skill again. So all 5 of those runs are either done or will be done, and the audio will get recorded at some point. So I had mentioned a lot of viewer build stuff whenever it was, a few weeks ago, a month ago, whatever. But we still got some locked and loaded. We still got some goodies in the cabinet here. So they're coming up here. They're coming up. But this video, was suggested by Rochib 21. So there are he's better than the first 20 of them. On the Biters video that I had, he recommended, speaking of custom builds, are you planning to showcase the mythical true archer build with infantry and marksman bows? So that's what we got. So we're doing it here. So I've enjoyed that build, or I should say this build. I've enjoyed it very much for a long time. You know, I feel like the synergy between infantry bow critting at close range and the extra damage from point blank is mutation, right? That bumps it up a little bit, or I should say a lot of it. I think it starts at like 35%. And then marksman bow, which crits at long range, and tranquility, which bumps all of your damage from when there are no enemies within a certain amount of distance. It's like 5 tiles. A tile is basically the width of like a secret in the floor, or a challenge rift. Yeah, right there. So that's 1 tile. So I think it's like 5 or 6 tiles away. So basically we're going to pair the 2 of them. We're going to get good crits. We're going to get good damage. We're going to get bonuses from the mutations. And it's going to pop off. It's going to pop up. It's going to be really fun. I think I learned about this build. It's been a while. I want to say, Azuma Leferi is the person who I think is the first one that I heard do the build, like five or 6 years ago, whatever it was. But either way, it's been in my kit. It's been in my kit for a while, and now instead of just talking about it, as I mentioned it in I think it was my mutations video, my tactics tier list video, whatever. After talking about it several times, here we are. So this was exciting too. So I had recorded this footage after I completed my flawless boss rush, which I have a video on the channel if you want to check that out. It worked out very well, but yeah, I got finally, after many runs of not having anything to spend my cells on, I now have an outfit that costs me, I think it's like 2,500 cells. It's, I don't know, man, this economy, even the outfits are getting pretty wild here, right? But I think it's something like 2,000 or 2,500 cells. So I'm going to be popping cells into it throughout the run here. So that's going to be fun. I already have it unlocked, obviously, but it's nice to see the progress. It's nice to see that's queued up, because I remember that boss rush victory was, man, it was like a Coca-Cola IV, the way that I was shaking after that, man. It was pretty wild. But anyways, like I said at the beginning of the video, welcome in. We got ourselves another challenge rift and a good dual stat. This is already a very good run. So we have two challenge rifts and a bonus stat. So we're already 3 stats ahead, which is fantastic. But for real, welcome in. Again, I hope this is a fun video. I actually have a couple of things instead of only free. That's not what I was just gonna say. The word I was gonna say is not exactly what the word is there. But basically just kind of going by the cuff of my pants or whatever it is. Jesus Christ, dude. Instead of flying by the seat of my pants, I actually have a few things I want to talk about. I got a couple of comments from some folks who. One of them was very endearing, and it was basically like, hey man, like, yeah, you ramble a ton, it's endearing, but you do talk a lot. And I'm like, shit, maybe I should actually plan out some other stuff, right? So we'll talk about the build, of course, but I got a couple other things written down. We're gonna get into some of that stuff too, right? So let's before we go off topic, as we have been, let's kind of like center back in, right? Let's come back to center here and let's check out the build. Oh, so first thing, so we're in the prom, and I go for the infantry bow, and it's mimicked, right? So we got ourselves a mimic here. I'm using the tentacle as my main weapon here. I decided to use that because it actually has a little bit of iframes, which is really nice. So I don't know the exact sort of time frame or whatever the right word is for it. I'm not sure exactly when it kicks in, but basically at some point between when the tentacle extends and when it pulls you in, I think there's also a little bit of time after that where you are completely invulnerable. I think it's, what is it, a feature not a bug, or a bug not a feature? I don't know exactly what the I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's a nice little trick. So that's why I decided to take that, and it actually helped within that mimic fight. I think I only took one hit from it, which is pretty good. So I used it, and then once I got my infantry bow, recycled it here, and we have one of my favorite items in the secondary slot. We got our firebrands here. Firebrands is so powerful. Fire is such a good dot. Firebrands is so good. Main support doesn't matter. I find that a lot of my tactics runs and a decent amount of my brutality runs have that in the kit. So it's super good. Unlocked right from the beginning. I'm sure if you've played any Dead Cells, you've seen it. Use it, enjoy it. It's super good. And I decided to pair that with the infantry bow, right? So I could have gone with the thunder shield that I have in the backpack. That's a very good shield. I dig it a lot. The AoE you get from parrying and all that, like, I think it's really nice, but I just wanted to crush some damage here, right? So instead of going defensive, I decided to go offensive. So we got ourselves two very good tactics weapons. Actually, two very good tactics and brutality. Actually, you could take this whole build. You could take all 4 of my main items and play brutality with it. Be the same. It'd be the same thing, right? It'd be the same thing. So I'm coming in here to check out the shop. I think it's a little early for me to actually be looking for Marksman bow. I wonder if I'm just looking for something special. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit early, especially since, you know, we're not playing custom mode here. So basically, you know, my build is at fate's whim, if you will. It's at the whim of the fates here. So I feel like with the infantry bow, with the I almost said pyrotechnics. What's it called? Infantry bow and firebrands. We got ourselves a really good kit. We got ourselves a nice kit here. Phaser. I know a lot of people like phaser. I think it's pretty decent. You know, I just have it fill in a slot. I like oil grenade. It's got like a nice range, decent damage. It's got like a nice range around it too. So we're just filling that out with the kit, and then you know, at some point we're gonna be making our way towards finding that marksman bow, right? So you can see. I think I'm gonna take this over phaser. That's what I would do right now if I were playing this right now. No. Okay. As far as timing goes too, I recorded this. So tonight is April 29th. It's a very special night. Today is April 29th. I recorded this run on April 2nd. So it's still, surprise, surprise. It is not in the forefront of my, it's not in the forefront of my memory. I remember it being fun, and I remember getting a win out of here. And we actually go Dracula too. That was another thing that I got some comments on, was people were like, hey man, do you only go 5BC or do you do some of the DLC too? So I made sure to go Dracula with this one. So we got ourselves a little bit of a different wrap up here too. So why is today a special day? So today, right now, this is whatever time it is, like 10:30 at night. It is All Saros Eve. So I am less than 12 hours away from going to Best Buy and picking up my copy for Saros on the PS5, which I cannot wait. By the time this video is out, the game will already have been released. So hopefully you've already had a chance to play it. I have not gotten the game on day one since, I don't know. I'm not being funny. I was talking to my buddies about this earlier. I was trying to figure it out. I can't remember the last time I pre-ordered a game to pick up on day one. That's how excited I am. If you're not familiar with Saros, it is the follow-up. It's technically not a sequel from what everyone's been saying, or I should say how it was marketed. It is the follow-up from Housemarque to Returnal. So basically, this is the closest we're going to get to a Returnal 2 if this is not a stealth sequel, right? Again, I watched some of the trailers initially. I watched the first trailer, lost my mind. I watched some of they had like a 5-minute trailer, watched it, lost my mind. And then they recently, maybe like a month ago, they had put out a longer trailer that was maybe like 15 minutes and going into some of the gameplay mechanics and stuff. And I opted out of that. And then I have muted some Discord channels that I'm in, and I have stayed away from reviews. I've stayed away from news. I don't want to know anything until I have a chance to play it myself. As most of you may know, Returnal is one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of my favorite games from this generation. It is one of my favorite games of all time. The fact that Housemarque is making another game that kind of it looks like it uses the bones of Returnal, right? In certain aspects, as far as bullet patterns. I've noticed when I watched one of the trailers, the original ones, the death animation and the death in the camera angle is the same or almost the same as some of the death animations in Returnal. Some people might look at that and be like, oh, well, they're just using the same assets or the same, animation or whatever it is. For me, I think it's fantastic. We get continuity, whatever it is. So I am super, super stoked. I'm super stoked. So tonight is All Saros Eve. I had dreams about Saros last night. I'm not kidding you. So, I work at, let's talk about my dreams. I work at a college, and I had a dream that our chief operating officer and executive vice president, she's someone that I used to work with and support a while ago. I had a dream that she called me and started telling me the Saros story, and I told her to shut the F up, and I hung up on her. So that happened in my dream. I had another dream where my girlfriend asked me what I was doing this weekend, and I wrote this down. I wrote this down. I said to her, I'm going to wake up early, paint the windows black, and play Saros until my eyes bleed. So even my subconscious, the depths of my dreams are ready for this. I have not been this excited for a new game in so long. So anyways, that's where my brain is. I'm so fired up. I had like a really good night. I do Zumba a couple times a week. I went to a Zumba class tonight, had like a nice meal. And now I'm sitting down here and I'm like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait until tomorrow. So I am less than 12 hours away. So here we are, all Saros Eve. So again, by the time this video comes out, I'm thinking a lot here. I'm trying to wonder what's the holdup here. Am I looking for burning oil? I think that's what it is. So right there, I had my oil grenade burn, enemies burn when they die, and then this infantry bow has plus 100% to burning oil. So I think that was the thought process. That was the thought process right there. So anyway, so by the time this video comes out, Saros will already be out, or will also be out. So if you liked Returnal, please try Saros. Please, please, please. I know it's going to be fantastic. Housemarque is just something else. They're something else. So again, I don't know the specifics of the game, but I know it's going to be of high quality, especially if it's going to improve on some of the stuff that Returnal had. So if you're interested, you like Returnal, check out Saros. If you are not, check it out anyways. It's probably going to be super sick. It's going to be super sick. So fired up, can't wait. And I was actually I went through, I don't have like a large current gen collection. I got maybe like 12 or 13 PS5 games or whatever. I don't have anything that I got on day one. So again, I'm dead serious. I have no idea the last time I pre-ordered something and picked it up on day one. So that just shows you how excited I am. Very excited. Very excited. So yeah, so that's been on my mind. Obviously, I told my college's EVP to F off because I didn't want her to spoil the storyline of Saros. So that's where I'm at. So anyways, I should probably look at the build here. So what has changed? Not much. So we upgraded our oil grenade between, I think it was in the 60 door after prom. So we upgraded our oil grenade. That was the one that had the affix that enemies burn when they die. It's I was just mentioning with the infantry bow that's got 100% to burning oil. That affix is great. It's great because right there you can already see it. Enemies burn, the oil's on the ground, so you can get easy synergy. Whether it's plus 100% to burning oil or just plus 40 to burning. I feel like it's a nice little synergy machine. So we upgraded that. I also think that we got a new phaser. And then I think here, all right, so I'm going to go back. I think what I did was I had saved a necklace that had an extra jump on it in case we found a challenge rift, which we did not. So I'm going to recycle this. We'll go back up. We will grab the food. I think there's a 15% food kicking around right there. Yep, there we go. And I got the key too. So we're going to pop down here. We're going to take a look in one of those doors. I'd probably look at the firebrands to see what it was. Yeah, I think I'm going right to the firebrands. Even though I think the one I have is a level 4 or level 5 now. I opted not to take it. Oh, and there we go. So we do have a challenge rift. All right, never mind. So we are leaving Prison Depths with 4 bonus scrolls. So what do we got? We're coming out of here with 12, right? Yeah, we're coming out of here with 12. So that's quite nice. That's quite nice. One of the things that does happen sometimes. So I've seen this. I've seen it here. I've actually seen it here more than other spots. I was just trying to think. I thought it was the Ossuary, but it's actually the Ossuary exit. It is not uncommon for a challenge rift to spawn in that hallway. So close to the exits. I have a video somewhere. Maybe I'll overlay it if I can find it. Where basically I am going into the ossuary exit, and there is a prison depth on, there is a challenge rift on the platform above my head as I'm walking away from it. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. It's misery. But yeah, so challenge rifts can spawn down there. So in retrospect, right, what I should have done, I should have left that other necklace on the map until I had a chance to fully explore that end hallway, so that way I could have gone back and I could have gotten the, what do you call it? Could have gotten the extra jump. Could have got the extra jump for the challenge rift, but I did not. And we took the, what do you call it? The incentivized biome. So we're going to the ossuary here. Love Os. Love Os. Lots of melees. Lots of long corridors. Corpse juices, spawners everywhere. You know, not a great biome to take melee items into because of the thornies here. I love Os though. It's one of the classics. It's been around for a long time. One of the classics here. So we're taking the incentivized route here. And then for mutations, so before we went into prison depths, I grabbed ammo, right, just preemptively, so that way we have plenty of ammo for both bows once we get them locked in. And I also took tranquility, so that is the, as far as mutations go, that's the build. We're just going to be looking for a marksman bow here to kind of complete the setup. What's great is that the build is not completely dependent on one or the other at this point. And I think we get 2 curses here, if I'm not mistaken. I think the way that the curses generate, yeah, so I think that's what I'm doing here is I'm trying to like make a visual note. If I'm understanding correctly, the way that these curses will generate is that if you see one in the middle of a hallway like that, that means that there's another curse, because the ossuary curse generally generates at the end of a hallway or at the end of like a elevator path or whatever it is, right? So normally when you get a curse, there's not going to be anything behind it. If you happen to see a curse at the end of a hallway that has another door on the other side of it, even if that door just kind of like opens into like a small room with nothing in it, that also may be indicative that you are going to get 2 curses here. So my understanding is we're going to get another curse. Again, I recorded this almost a month ago, so I'm not positive, but pretty sure we're going to get another curse. So let's put, what do you call it when you read a book? You dog ear it? Oh, we don't even have to. There it is. There it is. Doing the little dance. So this is normally what you're going to see here. You're going to see a room that goes nowhere. It's a one in, one out room. That's the curse. So any other generation is most likely going to be a second curse. I got very lucky here. I got super lucky because we got both curses at the beginning of the biome. So we haven't even, what do I got? I don't even have 30 kills yet. We have a lot more level to go through. I don't love this. Oh man, that went by very quickly. That thorny was a diamond elite, so it was gonna had a little diamond on top that shoots lasers at you, or the little bullets at you or whatever. That could have gone bad, but because this build is already juiced between our extra scrolls, between point blank and infantry bow, oil grenade, firebrands, like you can see, this is already popping. So that elite came and went. Go back and watch it in 0.5 speed. You might be able to actually see it when it pops out. So but yeah, we got super lucky. We got both of those curses done, right? So is that our 5th good stat? Am I reading this correctly? Right, we got 3 challenge rifts, 1 good duel, and an extra curse. So we're looking at 5. We got 5 good stats here. So this is a blessed run. This is a blessed run. I love it. And I don't mean that literally. I mean that in like the home goods way, where like, you know, you go to a store and then there's all those little cheesy plaques and mugs that say #blessed with like some generic cursive font on it. Like, that's what it is. That is the level of blessed that we have here. It's like right next to, you know, usually comes around like Thanksgiving time when you see that stuff on the shelves. So like you go in, you get your little candy corn, right? You get your pumpkin spice, whatever it is, and then you get your little #blessed thing. So that's what we're rolling with here. 5 extra scrolls. We are truly lucky. We are truly lucky. Already losing my mind. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. And then, yeah, so I think, you know, the next move here is we are going to find a marksman bow at some point, right? So I guess the good news here is that we're actually able to see both halves of the build. We're going to see both parts of it, I would say a little bit individually, because since we've only been using infantry bow, we're getting a really good demo of the power between infantry bow and point blank, right? So I think at this point, because we have 16 scrolls, the point blank damage is up to 48%, 47. We'll see it the next time I get a scroll. We'll be able to actually see what the increase is. I think that's where it is, but either way, we're looking at probably close to 50% extra damage, which is nice. So we're able to kind of like dig into that. We're able to see it. And then once we get the marksman bow, it will be the opposite. I can't remember if I go death or concierge here, but marksman bow is one of my favorite weapons to take into concierge. 100%. I love taking it. I love taking tranquility, take ammo or whatever. Like my favorite way to do it is you'll take marksman bow, you take tranquility, you take ammo, right? So there you go. You got your long range attack scheme down, right? You get that all set. Then the next part is, you know, all basic. This is like tactics 101. The next thing you're going to do is take a turret. You know, I prefer what do you call it, Tesla coil, sinew slicer, or double crossbow-matic. Pop that down. So basically you are far enough away from concierge to be able to get your tranquility bonus, and you're close enough to the turret to be able to get the support bonus, and things just pop right off. So it's my favorite. That is one of my favorite concierge builds. Might actually be my favorite build to take into concierge, now that I'm thinking about it. I love taking gilded Yumi in there too, but there's something special about marksman bow in that fight. So and marksman bow, so both of these items too, infantry and marksman bow, they've been around for a long time. Oh geez, they've been in since early access. I'm positive. I know they were in at least 1.0, but I think they were even earlier. Like these are some of the earliest weapons that were in the game, and they still, my opinion, I think they still hold up, right? Close-up marksman bow, not the best, right? It's not the best. Far away marksman bow is, I think it's really good. The normal damage, like I said, it's not really good, but the critical is 6 times that. So generally, which means like, hey, if you take a number that's not great and you multiply it by 6, like that ends up being fine. Right? It's not like it's super good damage and then it multiplies by 6 for insane damage. It's just really good. All right, so let's take a quick peek at point blank. I didn't even see it. That's wild. You get that muscle memory, right? But yeah, marksman bow, 6 times critical. The same critical multiplier as the blowgun. Both of those have 6-time multipliers, but marksman bow, I just think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun. Again, it's something I remember, you know, people talk about like busted builds and all this stuff. I'm really showing my age here. Ooh, we got a legendary greed shield here too, huh? This is why I like to go in the boss stores here. You never know what you're gonna find. So we got ourselves a legendary greed shield. Might as well take it. But you talk about busted builds. So Dead Cells was such a bare bones game back in the 2018, 2019 that like my iteration of a busted build was taking marksman bow into High Peak Castle and killing the knights from across the screen and not being in harm's way. So that was my busted build. Oh, and we got marksman bow right here. Perfect. So there it is. We already got the build. We haven't even hit the first boss yet. I think I might roll another couple times looking for maybe a bump up or something, but I think we're straight. So I feel like we're at the map cleanup portion of this level. I might actually be... I'm actually looking for another skill. There we go. To replace the oil grenade. I get a ton of money. Even after buying both of those things, I have, you know, I got 27,000 bucks here. So I'm taking my time. I'm going to roll a couple things here. Why did I take magnetic grenade? Did I take that as a joke? I'm genuinely curious as to why I took that. If I go death, I can understand why I took that. All right, so here's what I'm thinking about. Which way were you going to go? Are we going to Concierge? I think we're going to go to Concierge. Yeah, I'm not being funny. I legitimately have no idea why I took Magnetic Grenade. That thing is not good. Maybe because I wanted to group enemies together for something. Dude, I have no idea. I have no idea. But hey, we're in it now, so we'll see. We'll see what we got here. So I did not take a trap. Looks like I'm going to re-roll here. Just try to get a little bit of... see if I can find some synergy there, but I don't think... oh, wow. I'm going... Oh, yeah, I'm not going to use Greed Shield, so I'm getting rid of it. So that way we're all in. We're all in with the build. So here we are. So we're doing it, right? So here comes the Concierge. Maybe I got Magnetic Grenade to like keep him at a distance because it kind of like pulls him in a little bit. Maybe that was the move. Yeah, I guess that was it. Does it actually work? Not really. Not really. But yeah, so here we go. So I'm going to be trying to get, as you can see here, trying to get as far away as possible with the Marksman bow. I'm also trying to pace my damage here, so you'll see that I'm not going completely nuts with it. Concierge's phases, like his little attacks, and when he has the aura, that is dictated by how much damage he takes. So sometimes when he's coming towards me, if I'm up against the wall, I will purposely not do a lot of damage, so that way I can get away from his aura, get away from that shield attack, so that way I don't take damage. But that was a really good Concierge fight. We made it through. Looks like we're gonna get ourselves a legendary. Is it gonna be good? Yes, it is. I think we take the big cat. Oh yeah, we got that. That is one big cat. That is one big cat. So if you, so Maria's cat, the legendary, it's bigger and it does more damage. It's really fun when you have two cats. It's also really fun when you have two legendary cats. So if you happen to get a normal legendary cat and you want to take Wish into an item room and you want to get yourself a second cat, I support it. I support it. You know, there's a lot of animals out there that need good homes. You know, you get a couple cats, they bond, right? They can really connect and develop a good friendship, you know, a good kinship. So if you get a legendary cat, I think it's really funny to take Wish and get a second one. So maybe you should think about that. If this was a normal run, if this was not a viewer build and I was just doing like a random run, that is absolutely what I would have done. Would have started an animal shelter. What else? I wouldn't be able to take anything else because I'd have both of those slots filled up, right? You know, wouldn't be able to adopt the owl, you know, Mushroom Boy, anything like that. But yeah, two cats. Let's do it. So highly recommended. The adoption build. Let's call it. Let's call it that, right? So anyway, so I got rid of Lacerating Aura, but I kept Magnetic Grenade. This is something. This is wild. I wonder if I was ill. I wonder if I was I was a little sick earlier this month. Maybe that was it, right? Maybe I was a little ill. Not exactly of sound mind, right? I had a touch of the malaise, right? I was what was it? I was suffering a fever. Who knows? But either way, I still got that Magnetic Grenade. That's pretty wild. It's pretty wild, man. So let's I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I'm actually gonna see how we use that because I don't know. If this also, again, if this was a normal run, you can see me looking at it, I would have taken that Curse Sword too. We would have had two Maria's cats on tactics and a Curse Sword. We would have rocked and rolled with that, but that is not the case here. That's not the case. So taking the Curse and Shrine, so I do this all the time. No matter what the layout is, I will always look ahead, trigger the traps, get rid of the enemies, so that way when I take the curse, the only thing I need to really worry about are those crows. You know, kind of understand where the enemy placements are. Sometimes if I go through that first section and there is a shocker, you know, if there's a bomber like that or a shocker like that, the guy on the right there, I will clear them out before taking the curse, but it's basically you want to pave out as much as you can before taking that curse, because this is a rough one, right? So if you just grab, we're looking at 9s here. I don't think we're going to take anything. Yeah. If you just take the curse and go, you're dealing with a lot. You're dealing with a lot, man. You got enemies, right? You get your traps. You don't know where the traps are. You don't know what kinds of traps. You might have these spike traps, like the normal swinging axe ones. You might have the buzzsaw traps, like the one that we saw on the left there. You may have the log traps where you step on them and it triggers that log swing. So definitely do that, right? You're going to want to clear out. Please take the cluster grenade over the magnetic grenade. Okay, thank you. Thank God. All right, we're straight. We're good. Yeah, I think I don't know. My Tylenol must have kicked in at that point or something. Who knows? But all right, we're good here. We're good here. Now, on first look, when you go into that legendary room, I already forget what the third one was, but we had Scarecrow Sickles and Cluster Grenades. So my recommendation, if that was you, I would say take the Scarecrow Sickles. Having that item in general, that skill's fantastic. It's so good. The legendary gives you double sickles, so it's sickles. It's so good. It's so good. I think I took the cluster grenade because I take sickles often. So I think that was my move here, is I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to fill the kit out a little bit abnormally, right? I mean, you don't often see tactics builds with cluster grenade and Maria's cat, right? So do it a little bit different. And that's, as far as if you do want to do your true archer build, the only 4 non-negotiables are the 2 bows and then tranquility and point blank. Anything else goes. Anything else goes. If you want to put cursed sword in the backpack with Porcupine, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. Technically still the build. So you do you, right? But I think that is why I chose the cluster grenade over Scarecrow Sickles, even though Scarecrow Sickles would have and is the better. It would have been and is the better move for builds in general. But I also do like cluster grenade. I have a video about a little bug. If you use the cluster grenade in the clock tower before you hit any of those bells, you will automatically drop the clock tower or the bell tower key, whatever it's called, so you can get punishment. Super easy. It's a super easy little thing that you can do. But I do like cluster grenade, and the legendary is fine. It's fine. It gives you lets you double the explode. It lets you double explode. The grenade explodes are double. So basically once the grenades will explode, it's almost like there's another wave of explosion. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Talking again about older patches and stuff, they actually nerfed cluster grenades. So it used to be less spread out. It was more dense. So it was actually like I said, I think it's really good. I do enjoy it. But a while ago, 1.0, 1.1, like whenever it got patched, it used to be really strong. It used to be super strong. And it also used to only be brutality, but now we got dual scaling with brutality and survival, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So there we go. We got ourselves a nice build. I don't think, so the items that I have, I'm pretty sure they're like level 8 and 9 at this point, so I am going to want to switch those out, right? So 8 and 9 is a little bit low for endgame unless you have crazy synergy or you have something like a level 8 legendary pistol will take you to 5 BC and back. Like, you don't even have to worry about it. But the infantry bow, marksman bow, level 8, level 9, I want to bump that up before the end of the game here. So we'll see how that we'll see how it shakes out, right? Let's see how it shakes out. I've also I haven't really played a lot of Dead Cells in the past, like maybe couple of weeks, I want to say. It's been a bit. I did some practice for a challenge run thing that might end up happening. But other than that, I've been playing other stuff. I played some Returnal to get ready for Saros. Not a ton of it, but I played some. I put out that Returnal intermediate guide, whatever you want to call it. So I played a bunch of Returnal before then, just to kind of like sharpen the saw before I wrote that script a while ago. But I just wanted to make sure I had all the Returnal stuff in the front of my head. I started a new Hades 2 save file. I really like Hades 2. I still like the first one better, but I'm having fun with the second one. I've done like maybe four or five fresh files over the past like several months, and I've been enjoying it a lot. It is now on every platform. So it was originally just PC and Switch, but now it's also on PS5 and Xbox. So if you've been holding off on that, you're curious, you like the first one, you want some more, I'd say check it out. I also, dear Lord, I also played Resident Evil Requiem, and I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I grew up with the original Resident Evils, right? The old REs. So I played those a little bit when I was younger. But for me, like RE4, the original GameCube release for RE4 was like my jam. So I'm more of like the later school of Resident Evil players, if you're going to split it, right? So I never played Code Veronica. I never played 3 Nemesis. I didn't play any of the older stuff. I played the first one, Director's Cut, and RE2. But yeah, so I'm more of like a RE4 dude. I loved RE4 Remake. I actually played you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. In an effort to sort of like get the shakes out before Saros, I actually played through the RE4 Remake DLC separate ways. I played through it front to back twice today. But yeah, I really like RE4, but RE9 was like such a good mix of old school, like the survival horror where you're like obviously like low bullets, zombies are like bullet sponges, and you're in like this one area that you're slowly starting to like unravel. Thinking of like, of course, like the big set pieces, right? You think about the mansion from RE1, you think about the police station from RE2. There's an area called the Care Center, and the character Grace that you play as in this part of the game, it's very old school, right? It's very plotting. There's like, weird little puzzles where you have to like, do all this stuff where you got to find like 3 little emblems to get out of here. And there's like, this star, moon, and sun puzzle you need to get this thing. And like, it's really good. So my friend Brian and I, we played through that together, and like, it was phenomenal. I loved it. It's definitely a game that I'm going to play many times. MG, she's super excited to try it out, which is great. My girlfriend, she's into video games a little bit, so there are going to be many Requiem playthroughs in the DG household as time goes on. But that game was so good. So if you like, and the other thing too is it was, it has this amazing set piece. This Care Center place is phenomenal. That's the P I was looking for, is phenomenal. As the game goes on, it splits, and this is stuff in the trailers. It's not like a spoiler or whatever, but like there's also Leon sections. So it's almost like this great balance of like old school, like, low ammo, running by enemies, like really intense, creepy thing that then opens up into more of like a traditional RE4 type of game. And it does both. There's back and forth. Like at the very beginning of the game, you basically will play as each character for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then a story beat happens, and then it moves to the next one, and then you go back and forth, and then basically there's a large gray section, a little bit of Leon back and forth, and then there's a larger Leon section, a little bit of Grace back and forth, and it's just like, it's really good. So if you have any interest in survival horror type stuff, or action horror, or if you're an RE fan or whatever, I can't recommend it enough. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So played the hell out of that. What else have I been playing? I think that might be it, right? Basically everything but Dead Cells. What else did I write down here? Yeah, Hades 2, RE4, RE9, and it's all Saros Eve. Yeah, so haven't played a ton of Dead Cells. Have not. Which is fine. I feel like, these things kind of ebb and flow. It's really hard for me to focus on more than like one game in some aspects, even though, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, you know, we get a couple, who was it, Nightmare and was it Metahodos? Yeah, we got a couple of builds coming up that I'm going to play, but it's like when I get locked in, I mean, see also my comment of playing RE4 DLC twice today. It's like when I get locked into a game, like I get locked in. Super locked in. So I haven't played Dead Cells in a bit. So it's actually like it's really nice to watch some footage. It's really nice to kind of like go over this a bit. You know, I'll talk more about the build, of course, but just to sort of, you know, watch a run. It's good, man. It's good. And hopefully you're enjoying this too. Hopefully you're enjoying it too, you know. And again, you know, thank you 100 times. Thanks to Rochib again for the suggestion here. Pulling out the myth of the true archer, the true archer build, right? Man. But yeah, so RE9, play it. RE4 remake, quite good. Also play it. In the, like I was just saying about, you know, being single-mindedly focused sometimes. I also purchased the PS5 versions of both the RE2 and the RE3 remake. So I had played the RE2 remake with Brian once a couple of years ago, and I remember enjoying it. I thought it was pretty good. This was before I got like super RE focused here. All right, hold on. What do we got? We gonna grab something? No. And I remember I liked it, but I never played the RE3 remake. I know a bunch of folks said that it wasn't, you know, it felt like a cash grab, or it was kind of fast, or, you know, whatever it was. They cut stuff out from the original game, but I never played the original game, so that is lost on me. I don't care. Personally, like, I don't mind short games. If the RE3 remake is, I don't know, 3 hours long, great. It'll just be something like I did with the RE4 DLC. I can just play it 2 or 3 times a day. It's great. So I got those queued up, but again, you know, Saro's coming out tomorrow. I don't know how much of I don't know how many other games I'm gonna have time for until the Saros fever subsides, right? So yeah, let's let's get back to the build a little bit, right? Let's get back to the build a little bit here. So nothing has changed, which is fine. I decided to go clock tower here because I wanted to take I wanted the boss to be a little bit more susceptible to both marksman bow and infantry bow. I should say I wanted the boss to be able to really to use both of those items effectively against the boss, right? So with Scarecrow, that's out of the question. He's very fast, so you're not going to often get a lot of distance, right? There's a couple of attacks where he will sort of pause, you know, like when he's planting seeds or whatever it is, and you know, there's a little bit of time where you could get crits from the marksman bow. There it is. There's the bell tower key. It just dropped because I threw a cluster grenade at some point. You're not going to get a lot of use out of the marksman bow there, right? And the same thing goes for giant, because, you know, in order to get those crits, it's like you have to, if you visualize the giant fight, you would basically need to jump off of the side of the platform away from the giant over the lava to be in the marksman bow critical range. So for me, like, that's not that fun. It's not that fun. I've also taken infantry bow into the giant fight so many times that it's just sort of like, okay, like, I've been there, done that, right? So I figured Timekeeper is going to be the best demo here, right? Because there are going to be points where she's far away. There are going to be points when she's close. And I feel like that was a really good, you know, out of the 3 choices that we had, I think Timekeeper is like the best representation of the potential of the build. So that's where we're going. So I decided to go clock tower here. I also feel like I don't go clock tower a lot, so this is a little bit different. I go to Sepulchre and Cavern all the time, so spice it up. We'll spice it up. We made it through the clock tower pretty successfully. A couple hits here and there. I think we also got the 60, which we did. Let's take a peek. I don't know what we're looking at here. Nope. All right. And I'm sticking with my guns here. I'm sticking with the cat, sticking with the cluster grenade. Definitely for, and I might change this later, taking a turret would have been, might be a better idea than the cluster grenade. I still think Maria's cat's very good in general, but the legendary is quite good. So I'm going to stick with that. But I think, it would be smart of me to change out the cluster grenade for another trap. But either way, let's see here. So Timekeeper is going to start our attack. I'm going to camp on the left here. There we go. We got some nice damage there. Using the cat's got a little bit of extra damage there, and you can see, there it is. Am I going to take a hit? I do. I take a huge hit there. You could see that I was trying to manipulate my positioning so that way I would use the Marksman bow when I was far away, and when she got close, I'd use, take a couple of hits with the Infantry bow there. But she pulled me in, and I had no crowd control. So if that happens to you, right? If you get the Scorpion Spear and she pulls you across the arena, anything that will disrupt her attack, right? Frost Blast, Ice Bow, Stun Grenade, something like that would slow her down. I think even Ice Shards would give you enough space to kind of like slow her down and then pull back. Any sort of crowd control will help, because when she pulls you in and you get rooted there, it's for a certain amount of time. I did not have that. So when that happens, that is a very bad feel. It's bad feels when you get yanked in and you're sitting there and you're just like, oh my God, like I'm going to take this huge hit, and you just got to take it. You just got to take it. So I was lucky enough that it didn't do too much damage. But that was not great. So food for thought, right? If you're going into Timekeeper, maybe have some sort of crowd control, right? Maybe if you get an ice grenade from the 60 door beforehand, it might be worth taking just for that one instance, right? But overall, fight wasn't too bad. And we're routing our way through Dracula's castle here. So again, I forget who had mentioned it, but someone was mentioning, like I said, like, hey, do you only go 5BC or do you do other stuff? And I was like, well, let's do Drax Castle here. Let's get it done. Speaking of other games and Drax Castle, I am very excited to try the Evil Empire Castlevania. What is it? Belmont's Curse, I think it's called. It's coming out sometime this year at some point. It looks very good. It is not a roguelite. It is a actual Castlevania game. My conspiracy theory here is that the Return to Castlevania DLC was more of a proof of concept for Konami that they could actually do it, versus a DLC for Dead Cells, if that makes sense. Because as you folks know, the levels don't really fit right, and some of the bosses, like Drac 2's doesn't fit. Like it's pretty different. So that's my thought, is that when this all came up with Konami, it was more like, hey, like we want to do this thing, but also, wink wink, we would love to really do this for real, and that's what's going to happen. So there's no release date yet. It's coming out on pretty sure it's on all consoles. I know Best Buy has a pre-sale page for the PS5 version, so it's going to be coming out this year, and I can't wait. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be really fun. Might be something, I might stream it or something, so that way we can all check it out together at some point. But yeah, super stoked for it. And the Return to Castlevania DLC is not bad. It's definitely my least favorite of the bunch. It's also twice the price of all the other ones, which I think is really funny. It's not bad, but I am looking forward to a more proper Castlevania that's going to be it's going to be out soon. It'll be out soon. It'll be in our hands within the next what is this, April? Hopefully in the next like 7 or 8 months, right? Like a nice holiday release or something. It'd be really smart if they released it on Halloween, right? So there we go. Put your bets in. You heard it here first. Halloween, October 31st, 2026. Belmont's Curse is going to get released, right? Let's see what I'll title the video, "You Won't Believe This Castlevania News," right? Good grief. But we're making our way through through this Dracula's castle. So the layout is, like I mentioned, it doesn't really fit great in within the Dead Cells universe. The sort of Symphony of the Night style interconnected map works great for Castlevania, but I feel like with here, you know, there's a lot of backtracking. You know, the corridors feel very similar. It just kind of feels like you're, I don't know, it almost just feels like you're painting a wall. You know, you're just doing like one little section at a time instead of actually like, you know, having like a huge, really unique and enjoyable and whatever sort of navigational experience. But we're making through it okay. We already got 89 kills, which is fantastic. We have 33 scrolls, so we're in a good spot there. Thanks to the lovely extra scrolls that we got early in this run. The good news to that too, so we took Promenade and we took the Ossuary, so both of those are lower scrolled than sewers or ancient sewers or morass or whatever. So we actually took a lower scroll route. So the 33 scrolls that we have here is apropos. It's appropriate. So right there, I picked up the barnacle, and the reason why I bought it and left it is because I didn't know if that shop was going to be mimicked. I think at the time I had forgotten that we already got mimicked, so that wouldn't have been mimicked there. But also there's a chance that Dracula can show up on these shops up at the top of the map here. He can show up and he can make all of the items disappear. A bunch of gold drops there, but like you won't be able to buy anything. So I think I went in there, got the barnacle so I could keep it on the map. So in the event that I did want to go back and look at stuff or whatever, I would have already bought that barnacle. You can't take it away, right? It's a huge bummer. It's a huge bummer when you go up there and you're like, oh, cool, an item shop. And as soon as you get there, everything disappears. Huge bummer, right? So I knew, I guess I'm probably going to trade out the cluster grenade here. I did want to take a turret. We got ourselves a good one. We got ourselves a barnacle. We have 60,000 buckaroos. So I think that we're going to be in a decent shape to re-roll. Hopefully maybe get Toxic Cloud around the trap. Toxic Cloud and plus 80 to poison. Maybe if I'm lucky, we'll see. I'm going to grab that. I should recycle that. Maybe I won't. That room there, that Beelzebub lore room, there's always a rotten food in there. If you're on 5BC, any other BC, it's just a regular big food. So that's why I like to keep lore rooms on, so that way you never know. You might get yourself a little extra grub. DoorDash some spoiled watermelon, right? You don't even have to tip the driver. Oh boy, good grief. That's how you can tell it's been a long day. It's been a long day. You know, I went, like I said, I played RE4 for like 4 or 5 hours today. Went to Zumba, had dreams about Saros. Like I'm ripping and roaring here. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. But the good news is, oh wow, we only have 7 minutes left in the run. Okay, so we're almost done actually. So we're doing our cleanup here. I did not get the key from Medusa yet, so I need to go to the bottom right corner of the map. We're going to end up taking her out, getting the key. Is it the petrified key? I think is what it's called. So you're gonna grab the key from Medusa, so that way we can get the hell out of here and go fight Dracula. We got ourselves another health scroll, so I think we're finishing here with 34. I don't think we get another challenge rift, and I'm pretty sure there are no more dual stat, no more scrolls on the map here. So we're just at that last point. We're just going to be wrapping stuff up. One of the things I would have loved to have seen. So after you fight Medusa, there's you get the key, and then there's also a room with the chest in it, similar to like the bank challenge, little challenge room or whatever. Like I would have loved to have seen that be a colorless item. It just drops a regular item, so you might not be able to use it in your build, but I would have loved to have seen this as a colorless item. So let's see, how quick is this fight going to be? There we go. There we go. Was that 3 or 4 marksman bow shots and a couple of swipes from the cat there? Medusa fights go, yeah, see, we just got like a regular T-Shock, like we can't do anything with it. Medusa fights either will end a run or they will end that quickly. So there's one or the other. It's I have never seen a Medusa fight that has just been average. Either she tears you to shreds or you destroy her in like 3 seconds. So we were lucky. We were lucky to be on the side of on the side of strength on that one, right? And then what else am I doing here? I think we got one more door here. I think I might be checking these out just to see in the event that we do get a different marksman bow or infantry bow, because we still get the level 8, level 9. It's doing fine work. You know, like I said earlier in the video, I would have preferred to have switched this out or switched them out and gotten ourselves some stronger weapons, but as is, you know, we're doing pretty good. I might take this over the cat, actually, now that I'm looking at this. Yeah, I think that's the move. So I think the move is I'm going to turn on electrodynamics. I'm going to grab the cluster grenade, right? Yeah, I'm going to grab the cluster. So I just like to do this where, like, once I have a skill, I will activate electrodynamics, use the skill so that way I can get the orbs out quicker. Doesn't really matter, but there we go. All right, so we recycled the cat. Thank you, Maria's cat. What's the cat's name? Biako, I think. So thank you, Biako. We have recycled our cluster grenade and we're going into the Dracula fight with electrodynamics and barnacle. So now we're really leaning into sort of that classic tactics build that I really enjoy. We got ourselves a turret. We got ourselves a very powerful skill. And then let's see how lucky we get with these rerolls. So the first thing, I think that's it. Yeah. So first thing is we got the barnacle poisons enemies, and we got 80% to poison on everything. So there we go. So we got ourselves poison all over the place. I'm going to keep all my mutations. We're going to keep everything. I thought maybe I would get rid of ammo for disengagement or support, but I decided to just roll with it. So there we go. So this is the final build. I don't think I actually stop and pause. Maybe I do before I go into the Dracula fight, but this is the final build. So we got ourselves the True Archer's bow, or True Archer's build. And also I'm wearing the Robin Hood. There it is. There's the build. Poison, 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 poison. I'm also wearing the Robin Hood outfit. I felt like that was the closest thing that we would have to a character that has a bow. So, and we're coming into the Dracula fight here. So similar to Timekeeper, we're going to be doing some good damage from a distance here. And then trying to get in, oh, that's really close there. And also trying to get a little bit of extra damage up close, depending on where the positioning is. Drax's not putting up too much of a fight here. The Marksman bow is doing... Oh, never mind. He's not putting up too much of a fight. But watch him kick me in the face and then bring me down to like half health. So I think I would drink here. Yeah, so we're going to drink here just so we have 3 more potions. Just want to be topped off. Want to be topped off as much as we can. Going to get rid of this, what do you call it? Lacerating Aura. And we're going into Final Dracula, which is my absolute least favorite boss of the entire game. I've gotten used to it. I still don't love it. High HP, low damage threshold, etc., etc. And also just feels like it doesn't really fit, you know. But this would look sick in a regular Castlevania game. It would be super sick, right? But yeah, we're just gonna, so the move here is we're gonna use our infantry bow, same as always, right? We're gonna use infantry bow up close. I think yeah, you can see here, I'm gonna be trying to pick them away. And now we're coming into the meteor phase. So if you're trying to get a flawless here, this is probably the #1 thing that is either going to prevent you or going to or frustrate you. The meteor phase, these things are completely random. You can see there that I just took a random hit. The meteors are still falling even though the phase is over there. So like that's super buggy. So another reason why I don't love this fight. It's just not really... hasn't really been polished, right? But if you're trying to get a flawless here, that meteor phase may be the bane of your existence, may or may not. This is the second hardest flawless, I'd say, behind the flawless servants, just because of the amount of stuff you get to deal with. But we dealt with it. We got it done. we got ourselves a win. Only used 2 potions there, thankfully. In retrospect, I probably would have taken disengagement over ammo if that's what we were doing here this time. But either way, we made it through. So there we go. So there's the true archer build. Again, Rochib, thank you so much first of all, for chilling. I know you've been in the comments for a while here. Thanks for chilling, and thanks for suggesting that build. That was it's a classic. As far as I'm concerned, it's a classic. So if anyone's interested, I had to do it, right? So I hope this video was fun. Hope it was enjoyable for you. Folks. Again, thanks as always for tuning in, for watching, for hanging out. I really appreciate you. Appreciate your time, right? So as always, thanks for watching, and good luck out there.